how much have you spent on this little hobby of yours here?
I think the total is around right now.
What? 1,000? Boom, Chocobo.
Ashamed to admit this, I actually don't know what the card does.
Welcome to the FullCleared YouTube channel. I am non-gamer Craig Cole, and I'm joined on the line right now by our resident expert, Jason Siu. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great, Craig.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. And this video is kind of proof that there are, actually faces behind the voices in our gaming reviews. We're real people. We're not AI. I present the videos, make fun of stuff. Jason, you write them, of course.
I do.
For our valued viewers out there. Today, we're talking about something a little bit different. This is the Magic Final Fantasy card game, which I'm not sure, does that run on the Wii U? That's what I heard. You plug them in and you can play them right here.
Yes.
So you've been getting a lot of screen time. So we're going to be doing a little bit of an unboxing video. You're going to walk us through what the cards are, what they mean, why they're important, and hopefully answer a raft of very stupid questions from me.
Yes. So, we are looking at these gift bundles that came out. They're basically the last opportunity to get collector boosters at retail.
So what is a collector booster, and how does this tie in to Magic the Gathering?
So collector boosters, the reason why they're so popular right now is that it's the only way to obtain the Golden Chocobo that's serialized. They're only printing 77 of them. But they're also the only packs to find the Neon Chocobos, which are ranging anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 in value per.
Wow. And
then it's also your only way to find the Surge foil cards, which is like a special foil treatment on each of the cards.
Okay. So there are regular cards and there are foil cards, and I assume the foil ones are worth a lot more.
Yep. Well, there's three tiers. There's non-foil, foil, and Surge foil.
What is Surge foil?
Surge foil has like I don't know if we can actually see it in the video. You see the little wavy treatment?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's Surge foil.
Gotcha. So just a little extra special then.
Yep. That makes it
ordering your dry-aged steak with au poivre sauce or something.
Sure.
Not just A1.
Oh God, why would you eat A1 with your steak?
Your Wagyu beef with A1. I saw a very funny meme that made me laugh. Who in the middle of the Civil War thought the world needed a steak sauce?
So you're telling me that in the middle of the worst conflagration of death and destruction that this country has ever seen, someone said, what we need is a good steak sauce.
But anyway, we're here to talk about trading cards. Another question for you, Jason. I remember Magic. I never got into it, never played it as a kid, but 20 years ago or better, a lot of people did. Is Magic the Gathering still a thing? It's not something I ever think about or know anything about, but do people still do that? I'm assuming yes, but...
I honestly, I haven't touched it in over 30 years. I kind of just pay attention to it in passing because of all the sets. Like the Lord of the Rings one kind of put it back on the radar. I think that was a couple years ago. Pokemon is definitely the biggest craze right now, but I think Magic's kind of benefited from Pokemon as a result. I started visiting all the local stores as a result of the set, and it's thriving. Like that community is pretty big, but without a doubt, Pokemon is way bigger here, at least in California.
Gotcha. And the Final Fantasy tie-in, is that just sort of a crossover then between Magic and this other franchise? Yeah. What is that? How does that work?
It's something that should have been done decades ago, really. Final Fantasy is probably one of the biggest gaming franchises ever. There's 16 mainline entries, which is what they focused on for the set here. They didn't do the Tactics or Type 0 or any of the spin-off games, but yeah, I mean, when this got announced, I think earlier this year, there was a lot of hype. Even anecdotally, the people that I run into, a lot of them are like me, haven't touched Magic in decades, but, want to collect the set because of, their like for Final Fantasy.
All right, why don't we start rolling that video, and Jason, you can walk us through what's happening and also explain a bit about what cards are being unveiled.
Sure. This pack that he's starting with is basically has 2 guaranteed extended art foil cards. It's actually the best way to find these extended art foil cards is through the packs that are in these bundles. This pack is also in the normal play bundle that you could probably find for around $70 retail. So these have a chance of being worth quite a bit. But the reason why we are chasing after these bundles is because these 2 cards are guaranteed. Not these 2 specific cards, but the extended art foil cards are guaranteed. And since we're trying to make a full collection, that's our best way of obtaining those cards. This is the collector booster that everybody's chasing. Normal retail is supposed to be about $37.99. They're going for around $100 now.
Okay.
It's the only place to find the Golden Chocobos, the Surge Foils, and the Neon Ink Chocobos. Foil tokens cards. That's a foil token card that you see right there.
And is that a good one? What does that do?
No, those are just, I don't know what they do, to be honest. I haven't played Magic in so long.
Is it a mana burn?
I don't know what the token card's used for. Tokens are typically, that's a pretty good pull right there. That one as well. Those are borderless cards. Or extended arts. Sorry, those are extended arts. That's like a normal card because it has like a border on it. That's a land. Those are pretty generic at this point in our collection. That's also an extended art, and he's probably just going to go through the rest of this pack pretty quickly.
So when you're buying these boxes, they have... Is this how the cards are sold in these black boxes with various packs in them?
No, you can
Or
buy...
can you just go and buy a single pack if you wanted?
Yeah, if you can find them. Yeah, the collector boosters are sold singles. Anywhere from, like I said, they're probably around $95 to $100 if you can even find them. Retail. There are also play boosters that are $7.99, but those have, just they're literally there for players that want to play, not collect. You won't get any of the really collectible cards in the play boosters.
So, Jason, if you've got all these rare cards, these foil line Chad Lazars or whatever, are you ever actually going to play with those in a tournament, or is this just something that sits in a shrine in the corner, in a binder, you never touch it, you don't look at it, you don't think about it? Or is there utility here?
Personally, I wouldn't play with any of my collection, but there are players that do.
Yeah.
We put cards into top loaders to protect them. But there are players that definitely play with foil cards. Most people will get non-foil versions of all the cards and play those. There are even proxy cards.
Could you just go do a Google image search and print off the card?
If you go on Etsy, there are plenty of proxy cards with all sorts of alternative arts that are interesting, to say the least.
Oh, it sounds like this is rather adult-themed. Okay. So then what are these packages the gentleman's unboxing?
They're called a gift bundle. They come with 9 play boosters, which we're going to ignore, 1 collector booster, 1 pack of foil lands, which he's putting back in right now because we don't care about those anymore, and then the pack with the 2 extended foils with lands as well.
Gotcha. So this is a little melange of packs. You get a,
Yeah,
if you wanted to start playing or build a deck or something, you could buy one of these and have a good starting point.
Possibly. I don't know because I haven't built a Magic deck in 3 decades, so I don't know variations of cards. Honestly, I just don't even know the play rules. I started playing some MTG Arena as a result of this, just to see if I could get back into it. But yeah, the rules are just way more complicated than I've been playing Hearthstone mainly, and Marvel Snap. Those are very simple card games compared to Magic's complexity over the years and the mechanics that it has. So my brain's too simple-minded for that. I'm not smart enough.
Oh, you're selling yourself short, Jason. I think
just not smart enough.
think you'd get the hang of this. So what's the ultimate card? I think you said it's a chocobo?
Yep.
Which, I'll be honest, sounds like a racial slur. I have no idea what that is.
This is a chocobo. Someone, my cousin's little daughter made this for me. Handmade, not 3D printed. It's a bird. They are very iconic in the Final Fantasy franchise. They've been in every game. They're basically the mounts. And there's a Golden Chocobo that's serialized, 77 of them. But there are also neon ones, black, blue, yellow, and pink, and green. The black one is worth the most right now because the card itself only has Japanese text on it.
Ooh.
They did that.
So
as
you
a-
get the
that's a surge
you
foil
get
right there. That's a
oh,
borderless surge foil. Um, that card right there is from the set called FCA Final Fantasy Through the Ages. It kind of
okay.
pulls artwork from the game generally. Um, you were gonna ask something though? That just
I was
rename
going
the
to say
types of cards.
what you get. You get a golden chocobo. You get the black chocobo with the Japanese text on it. What does that do in the game? Do you just automatically win? Like, oh, I got
No.
boom chocobo.
I
I'm out.
actually, I am ashamed to admit this. I actually don't know what the card does mechanically. I never bothered
Jason.
reading the text of what the chocobo actually does, so I can't answer that. But
He's
they're
our resident expert,
yeah,
folks.
no, not as someone that hasn't played Magic in so long, I wouldn't be able to explain the actual functionality
Yeah.
of the cards. I will admit I'm strictly doing this for collection's sake because I'm a Final Fantasy fan.
Gotcha.
But I don't think it's like a super powerful card. I think the Golden Chocobo's appeal is that it's serialized. The neon ones are just super rare.
Mm.
I don't know the actual pull rate because they just say less than 1%.
Mm-hmm.
On their descriptions, but this gentleman that is unpacking actually has a pink neon chocobo that he got pretty early on in one of the collective boosters.
Nice. So is the golden chocobo is the rarest of them, right?
Yes, 77.
And that there are only 77 that they're printing. So people buying these cards around the world, they're selling, I'm assuming, thousands and thousands of these packs. So if somebody wanted to complete a set of these cards, like how many do they have to get? Like what's the total number?
So based on our spreadsheet, it's a little over 1450, and that doesn't include foil and non-foil variants. Some cards are only available in surge foil. Some cards are only available in non-foil. I don't know the exact total. If you want to do a complete set of both non-foil and foil, I would guesstimate it's probably around 2,500 cards, with all the art variants and everything. That
Okay,
right
well, that's
there is
gonna cost you.
another surge foil borderless, but that one's only worth about $6.
So if there's Final Fantasy, is there a pentultimate fantasy, like a second to the last fantasy?
One day, Craig, one day. Probably
One day.
probably when we're ready to die, we'll finally get a
They can milk the franchise,
the
right?
the story behind Final Fantasy was that it was the final game that Squaresoft was able to create before they were gonna go bankrupt. So the story is Final Fantasy saved the company, and 30 plus year, 35, 40 years later, here we are.
So we talked about chocobos. Would you would consider that to be the best card in this expansion pack, right?
If you're looking to collect, possibly. I think a lot of people are collecting just their favorite characters, from their games. That's very common right now. There's a few what we're calling chase cards, a surge foil Sephiroth. Everybody wants Sephiroth. He's the villain of Final Fantasy VII. People want to collect, a lot of the main cast from 7. 7's the buzz game right now because they're remade this. They're turning it into a trilogy in the remake. And then 16 is the latest entry. It's not super popular. And then Final Fantasy 14 is their online MMO that's got millions of players. The critically acclaimed online MMO. So a lot of people are chasing, the character right there. There she is. How coincidental, Y'shtola. Not that specific card. There is a different version of it that ranges anywhere from like $650 to $800. I think right now it's dropping a little bit. Everything's kind of dropping in terms of value. As people are kind of opening and selling everything that they don't want online. We're assuming that prices will kind of stabilize pretty soon since this is the last run of collector boosters available to the public. From here on out, if you kind of want to get your hands on these, you're paying, $1,200 for a box off TCG
For a box
Player.
of cardboard
Yep.
and foil.
Very thin cardboard.
Yes.
compared
Not
to
even
other
useful
cards.
cardboard. You can't line the bottom of your parakeet's cage with it. It's too small.
Well, you could. There are cards that are called bulk. They're just common and common cards. I have a box of it here, and stores generally give you pennies for these. So you could
Nice.
the bottom of your parakeet's cage with those if you really wanted to. That they would be useful.
Okay, just
More useful than
pennies
getting a few
apiece.
pennies for them. We literally spend hundreds of dollars to buy things that are just tossed into a separate box as trash. It's pretty sad.
Right, right. So, Jason, how much have you spent on this little hobby of yours here?
Uh, I think the total is around 9,000 right now.
What?
Yep, that's about where I'm at.
9,000?
9,000.
So-
And I still have one more box coming, so we'll see.
So Jason does have an addictive personality. Good to know. So keep
Not
that
at
in
all. I
mind.
don't know
Get
what
him
you're talking about.
hooked on something.
fine.
$9,000. I
It's
hope you
fine.
plan on earning that back.
Sure. Some point we're doing this video, right?
I guess if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, right? Can you just pay more and get like good ones? Would that be easier?
You could shop still singles. You could just buy exactly
Yeah.
what you want. So that's a pretty good pull that I see right there from the extended art foil. It's Cloud,
Okay.
the protagonist of Final Fantasy VII.
It's not Penguin or Shoe.
Thank you. He's actually making me nervous the way he's opening these packs. But he's an expert. He opens tens of thousands of packs.
This
all
is
the
your
time.
buddy.
Yep. He's
So what is
allergic
this
to
character
money.
then?
That's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. He's the main character, one of the more popular main characters of the franchise.
Mm-hmm. He's like the Wario of Final Fantasy.
Sure, yeah, I know you love Wario. He's your favorite.
He gets a bad rap. It's undeserved, frankly.
Waluigi.
Though,
too,
as we
right?
all know, Toad is my favorite.
Toad is your
For
favorite.
obvious reasons, he's the best. He's the best, but
It's
as he
Yoshi's
tells
the
you.
best. I should have worn my Yoshi shirt today. I don't know why I wore this
I
panda
don't
one. That's a bird. I don't know why it's called a bird because that's clearly a chocobo. But so that's a really cool art card. That's not like actually an art card, but it's just really cool art on the card. Chocobo Knights, so more chocobos. Saz, he's from Final Fantasy 13. He has a baby chocobo. He's from Final Fantasy 16. That's another boring land. We're tired of seeing land cards. That's the chocobo from Final Fantasy. Oh wow,
You got two of them?
yeah. So that's the really annoying thing about Magic packs when you're opening these, really expensive collector boosters and you literally get dupes. It looks like he got a foil and a non-foil version back to back. That happened to me about 5 times as well when I opened up my 3 boxes. So yeah, it's a little annoying, but it happens.
Are those cards of any value, these two?
No, not that one specifically, no. A couple bucks or something.
A shame.
It
A
is.
shame. What are the odds we're going to see him unbox or unwrap something that's off the charts great? What do you think?
With 15 packs, that's like a little over a box of collector. I mean, it's a pretty good chance that we'll see some Surge Foil characters are worth, a couple $100, if not more.
Wow.
He's been pretty lucky with his pack openings. So we'll see what he gets out of these gift bundles. There's all sorts of rumors with the gift bundles because, so few of the Golden Chocobos have been publicly announced that rumor has it that they kind of stuffed the Golden Chocobos in these gift bundles. Apparently they did something similar with Lord of the Rings. A lot of the collectible cards were really just a higher percentage of them were found in the gift bundles. But I think that's just all anecdotal.
Yeah. So Magic the Gathering is like truly a gathering of different media franchises. If you've got Lord of the Rings,
They
You've
have
got-
Spider-Man coming out. They did Marvel. They're doing Avatar: The Last Airbender. They kind of realized, companies like money and they like money, so they started licensing and realized that
Which
this
is-
is a better way to reach out to different, branding.
yeah. So you can play with your favorite characters from whatever
Yep.
media franchise, and it just dovetails right into the Magic game. Whereas 30 years ago, they didn't have those partnerships with other media franchises, so you'd
Correct.
just be playing with whatever
They create
cards
yeah.
were in Magic. Yeah,
Yeah.
with their own universe of
Yep.
stuff. So you have a Final Fantasy card that's going to play just as well against a Lord of the Rings card. Then, like they're designed to work. It's not like a whole separate version of the game, right?
Nope. You can kind of mix and match, and that's why this
Gotcha.
part of the reason why this set is also popular. There are some cards that players really want, in their normal standard Magic decks. That is, like I said, I don't know much about Magic and playing in the community and so on and so forth. There are also commander decks that is more of a lower barrier to entry essentially. But again, I don't know the mechanics of it all. For now, it's just collecting because I'm
It's
allergic
for
to money.
the collecting. Because
Yeah.
you're allergic to money. Is there a vaccine for that?
Vaccine for that. I hope so because I'm in trouble these days with how much money I've spent so far on these cards.
Don't worry, we'll soon be able to monetize the channel, right, Ben, our producer behind the scenes? He just made a bullet ricochet noise for some reason.
The only card games Jason plays are cards within video games.
Yeah, you can play it on the Wii U, I hear.
Yep.
The new Monster Train, right? We just recently, not that long ago, did a video review on Monster Train. It's leaving the station. You should check it out. It's pretty good. The train goes north to south rather than east to west or something. I don't remember exactly. They changed the direction of it is what matters. And then those are the characters that are on board the train. I don't know that they all paid the fare, and some might get kicked off the train if the conductor finds out, but
They're
you're
going
gonna
to
have to
heaven
play to
instead
learn.
of going to hell.
Oh, wow, that's preferable,
That was
actually.
fun. Let's
Monster
see what's
Train,
in,
we got...
what's in this pack.
Yeah, what's this one? Magic, the Gathering.
So that's a pretty. Oh yeah, I would take that card from him.
What is this card?
She is the protagonist of Final Fantasy 13. That's an extended art foil version.
Mm-hmm.
I will look up the value afterwards and put it in the video, but
Lightning
nice card.
Army? What is it called?
Lightning Army of One, it should say. Is that? Oh, that's a non-foil.
Have they done a Star Wars tie-in with Magic yet?
Nope, only because Star Wars does their own card game. Lucas,
Real
well,
shame.
now Disney likes money more than Wizards of the Coast likes money, so.
This is true. So, I know you haven't played Magic in 30 years, or thereabouts, but as somebody who has literally never played a game of Magic, how does the basic flow of the gameplay work? I know there are the land cards. I think you tap those to generate mana so you can play other cards, but just a very general
more than I
overview,
do.
Jason.
The fact that you were able to say that sounds like you know more than I do.
I know nothing about it,
Yeah,
literally.
Generally, Magic, both players have a life counter. You play cards that are unit cards, spell cards, land cards. Like you said, you tap them for mana, so that you can play cards. Most cards have a mana cost associated with them. Magic has all sorts of different colors associated to the cards, like green, red. I don't even know, to be honest, what the deck colors are anymore. Yeah, the whole point is to kill your opponent by attacking them. You can use units to block to protect the life counter. I'm probably sounding really stupid to Magic players right now, but that's the gist of it.
Gotcha. And there used to be there were different color groups or something?
Yeah, so I don't even know the differences anymore between the decks, like which ones are ramp, which ones would be considered rush decks. I think red is what they would consider like a nuke deck, which a lot of spells. But yeah, I know there's mill decks, ramp decks, draw decks. I don't know much about Magic because it's just so many expansions and cards and ways to play. I don't even know what the meta is these days. It seems very combo oriented based on what I've seen, meaning that you basically kind of do whatever you can to draw into your combo of cards that wins you the game. Which some people love, some people hate. Oh, that's a pretty cool FCA card that I haven't seen. That's a mythic. So FCA is the Through the Ages. A lot of these cards, the artwork isn't especially special because it's just like screenshots from the game itself. But they're pretty rare in general. Like a mythic FCA, unfortunately, he got a non-foil, so not worth hundreds.
So that's not Fiat Chrysler Automobiles FCA.
Fiat. You have to go there. That's the Stellantis. So that right there is a surge foil that's worth, $200-300. That is the protagonist for Final Fantasy X. So these are the
Wow.
cards that, people really chase right now if they want to collect their favorite characters.
So this sounds like a really good retirement investment, Jason. If you wanted to diversify your portfolio, you go buy some of these boxes of Final Fantasy Magic cards. You could be sitting pretty
That's my
quickly.
hope. In a few years that these will just kind of continue increasing in value. I think, Post Malone buying the Lord of the Rings card for $2 million kind of put Magic back on the mainstream media's map for fun, during those couple weeks. But this set, most everybody I've talked to has said is pretty unprecedented in terms of the value of the cards, how much scalpers are kind of jumping on the bandwagon, how much the increase of everything is these days. With this, it's 3x retail basically for most of the product.
Wow. But this is like the new Beanie Babies craze, right? Everybody's gotta go. Ben was telling us his mom would go to McDonald's and buy a bunch of Happy Meals they didn't need and then freeze them just to hopefully get the right Beanie Baby.
The new Beanie Baby craze is actually Labubu's.
Excuse me?
Which you haven't heard of either. You can Google that later. But yeah, these are this is the biggest craze right now worldwide. Are Labubu's.
Thanks, I hate it. So what's the best card you've gotten so far, Jason?
I have one of the most sought after borderless surge foil cards, Y'shtola, the cat girl from Final Fantasy XIV. Her and Sephiroth are about, the same. They go back and forth, hovering around, anywhere from 750 to 800, 850. That's probably the best card that I've pulled. Yeah.
Y'shtola.
Y'shtola.
Sounds like something from Slavic mythology. Wow. This is a home-based business opportunity, really. Buy some cards, sell them.
Yeah, these shops, they buy them back. They give you 50% cash, 65% store credit. So they're making a pretty penny selling singles. It's a GameStop business model of, giving you pennies on the dollar and selling it for a lot more. That worked out really well for GameStop, as you could tell by how many stores are closing these days.
Well, that's Were they bought out by private equity or no? Because that's always the kiss of death.
I don't even know what killed GameStop.
As soon as private equity is involved, it's dead. Very gingerly opening it and turning it over, make them even.
That's the protagonist for Final Fantasy 16. That's an extended art foil.
Clive.
I think that's like a $50-something card. We'll check it afterwards and throw up a number on the screen. A lot of the goal here is to, at least break even on your pack openings. Generally, if you're paying retail, you'll easily break even. On these gift bundles, you'll definitely turn a profit for the most part. I'm paying nearly double because that's all the stores around here will sell them for. So it's much harder for me to even break even.
And Jason, you're in Southern California. Are there a lot of card shops, or maybe you get them at comic book stores? Are there a lot of those in the area that sell these? Because here in the Detroit area, I don't know of functionally any. I mean, I'm not in this. What's the right word, Ben? Milieu.
Yes.
I'm not in this world, so I don't know. But I don't see any comic book stores or card shops around anywhere. I mean, maybe I'm missing them.
So what's funny is I was not in this world either until about 3 weeks ago. Look, Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Micro Center, all the big box stores sell these things. They sell them at retail, which is your best bet if you don't want to pay a premium. I sat down and went to Wizards of the Coast website and looked up my zip code, and I basically called every store within the 25-mile radius a couple weeks ago when the initial launched of the product. And just tried to see which stores actually had product left in stock. And that's where I found some of the stores that I frequent now, were the ones that did have them left in stock. But generally, from what I've seen, the stores here, they call them LGS, local game stores. They're selling it at the rate that it is on TCG Player, market rate essentially, instead of retail, which, sucks for a lot of people that want to just collect. But, there's pros and cons to it all. It kind of guarantees you product because scalpers aren't going to buy it at the scalper rate as it is. Micro Center, I got a text at 5:30 in the morning with a video the morning that these gift bundles went live, and there was over 55 people already in line at 5:30 in the morning. They open at 10. So, to get them at retail, the person in this video, he got there around 7:50 a.m. His brothers were there at 6 a.m. to kind of get these boxes. They're limit 3 per customer. That's how we ended up with all of these. We had as many people show up as possible.
Tag team.
Yep. I had no choice. I went to Best Buy. They didn't get any at all. My local Best Buy had none.
I didn't know Best Buy even carried that sort of stuff.
They do. It's maybe it's what's helped keep them afloat right now. But Pokemon, they get shipments of Pokemon, and people line up hours before they open. That's another Surge foil. That's Joshua from Final Fantasy 16.
He's got a very boring name, Joshua.
Yep.
That's it. Like
it's pretty generic for a Final Fantasy game. I got a few of those as dupes, so they're not terribly exciting. Best card I've seen is the Tidus one so far. That's a cool art card. I keep calling them art cards because they're not as cool art, but it's not actually like an art card.
They're still useful. You could play them.
Yeah, they actually have art series, but those are the play boosters that we're kind of not paying attention to.
So with all these media franchises brought into the Magic world, it's the number of cards that are potentially out there is insane. They're like, how did you even keep track of them all? There must be tens of thousands if they're up to 2,500 in just this expansion, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what the total count of Magic cards are. I would be shocked if it's not in the hundreds of thousands at this point after all these years. The store that I frequent, they have a wall of just boxes and boxes and boxes of cards. I don't even know how this guy that works there has the memory capacity to know exactly what card is where. When customers buy them, he just magically finds them and pulls them out of these boxes. There must be some sort of system that I am not aware of, but yeah, it's insane.
Autism.
A lot of tisms. A lot of tisms.
All of the tisms are belong to him.
Tisms.
But so you go into a Magic tournament, you go to play Magic with some folks or whatever. You have no idea what cards you're going to be going against. Like none. You couldn't possibly predict.
Yeah, I mean, there's a meta, so generally there's probably I don't know. I don't want to speak on behalf of Magic, but other card games there's generally a meta, which means it's a little bit of level predictability in terms of like what decks are being played. A lot of it's rock paper scissors in the card game world. Again, I don't know what that's like in Magic, if that is how it is, if there's enough variables where it is infinite number of possibilities showing up, but generally it's there are probably a dozen decks that players play. That is another thing. You bring up a really good point. MagicCon just happened in Vegas last week. There were promo cards for this Final Fantasy collection there. One of them is a foil version of Tifa that is going on eBay anywhere from like $5,000 to $7,000. And I think the only way to get it was to win. At
a doggo
at Magic. Yes, that is Angelo. He is from Final Fantasy VIII.
What does he do? Does he find Timmy that fell in the well, or
he's
looks like a Australian Shepherd, though. I don't know.
He's gonna pull up a video later of what Angelo does. I don't know how I'm gonna describe it. You can just show it.
He's a magical pupper. So there you go.
That's a special land card. Midgar from Final Fantasy VII.
Wow.
Oh, there is another Surge foil. Yep, Celeste. She's from Final Fantasy VI. That is a pretty nice card. He got some
What's
pretty
the value?
That one's probably $200-300, I think. I'm not sure.
Damn.
Off the top of my head.
Wow. Oh, a chocobo.
That's
Or choco, whatever.
that's a pretty boring one, unfortunately.
Oh, forest. Hold on.
Those are
Hold on.
exciting.
What does this card do, Jason? This looks
that's
very
a basic
important being all
land.
plain.
That's a basic green land.
It looks very important with no text or foil or anything. It's just there.
They give you so many land cards that basically stores take them for donation. They don't even
Like,
they don't
please get
even
rid
pay
of. I
you
don't want these
pennies.
anymore.
Yeah, they ask them for donations. They won't give you any type of value for them. But you know, the thing is for us at this point, we've opened probably hundreds of packs, which is why some of these things are very boring to us, while other people might get excited. We're really mainly looking for search foil character cards, borderless cards, some of the foil FCA cards. Those are really rare. You know, some dupes to trade for other cards as well.
That's it. Got to find the golden chocobo.
At retail,
Is he gonna do it, folks?
At retail, this is a pretty good haul so far. If I was paid what I paid, I'd be a little disappointed.
All right, he's got another pack here. This is going to be the one. I can feel it. I can feel it.
That's
All right,
your
we got
Shtova. Your Schlada, if you want to can't read it. Aerith, that's a pretty decent card for an extended art.
No golden chocobos just yet.
One
But
day.
you never know. Or the black Japanese chocobo.
He's got a pink one. His brother's has the blue one.
Wow.
Oh, that's a dice search foil. Noctis from Final Fantasy 15.
Shouldn't he be wearing white gloves when he's doing this? He's going to put fingerprints all over the cards.
He does it all the time. I wear gloves because I sweat, so I don't trust myself. But he opens so many cards.
Anything beyond Magic, or is he just focused on Magic?
No, he plays a lot of One Piece.
Okay.
The anime, I don't know if you know what that is, Craig.
Of course not. It wasn't from the 1930s, so I have no idea.
It's close. For a very long time, might be the longest running anime series ever. But Netflix just did a live adaptation of it.
What is the little logo on the box on the end there? It looks like a claw mark. Is that the Final Fantasy logo?
Nope. That's the Magic logo.
Oh, okay.
I forgot what
See,
it's
I didn't
called.
know that.
So, see, I'm just going to sound stupid too. Magic fans are watching this video are like, oh my god, these guys are just ridiculous.
I know nothing, and apparantly Jason barely knows
I don't
anymore.
know much either. Collector, it's fine. I just throw money at things.
So why are these big boxes mostly empty air? Like, the
There's a
cards are only
dice.
take...
There's a dice.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I can go get one. I will show you this.
Well, he
dice
must have
before.
enough dice to, like, retile his bathroom if he wanted. Like, all these boxes he's buying.
I actually don't know where my dice went. I've got quite a
Well,
few, but
we've seen a dice. Yeah.
the one that comes in this box is really nice. Some people are selling for $50, apparently.
Now, Jason, when you got up there for a second, we got a little peek at what you're sitting on, and it's not an old apple crate.
It is an Anthros chair, and it's fantastic.
What are the details? What makes it's a gaming chair, right?
They market it as a gaming chair, but really it's just one of the best office chairs I've ever sat in. I used to have a steel case Gesture, and I've been using an Anthros since. And that was a really good segue, by the way, Craig. That was brilliant.
But yes, Anthros is one of the folks helping us with the channel here, so shout out to them. And it sounds like you're pretty happy with the chair they provided for review.
I am. I love it. I would recommend it to anybody that can afford it. It's definitely a very premium chair, but it's been probably using it for about 4 months now. It's great.
I'm sitting on a folding chair right now that came with a card table. Probably cost $100 for the whole set. Can't really see it. Maybe if I scoot over.
That's really good for your posture, I can tell.
Can't you tell? In the high-stakes world of competitive gaming, yes, that's a thing, comfort and performance make all the difference. So meet Anthros, the leader in innovative gaming chairs, and you thought it was just something to sit on. You were wrong. Engineered with their precision posture system, Anthros allows you to sit like you game, slumped over and covered in crumbs. No, I'm sorry, that's just me. Perfectly aligned and fully supported, match after match. Chosen as the official chair of ESL and DreamHack, Anthros is committed to elevating the gaming experience for professionals worldwide. Now, to get $200 off, scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the description box below to configure your perfect Anthros gaming chair today. Join the leaders in esports and upgrade your game with Anthros. Sit like you game. And we thank Anthros for offering our audience that exclusive discount. We do appreciate their support of the channel, and if you're looking for a gaming chair, they come highly recommended by Jason Siu here.
They do. Actually, the person that you're watching right now in video is the one that turned me over to Anthros. He was the first one to buy one.
And think of, he would not be able to unbox these cards nearly as effectively if he were not seated in a comfortable chair.
Exactly. Right? I'll tell you the truth, the time that I've been spending having to filter through all these cards, inventory them and all this stuff, like, this chair is a blessing, honestly. I did some of this last week, slumped over on a couch in front of a table, and it was absolutely miserable. Which is why I'm now doing it at my computer desk.
What are we going to see? Come on now. Oh, another doggo!
The foil Angelo. So that right there is another Surge foil, Kafka. He is one of the most popular villains in the series. One of the most iconic ones.
Legendary creature. It says so right there. Human wizard.
He is a creature. He's definitely a creature. There's Adea from Final Fantasy VIII.
She looks like a 1930s villain.
She's a villain.
Cruella de Vil.
I guess it depends on your perspective. I have not seen that card. Oh, look at that little stilt skin. That's a really
Country
cool
Bear
logo.
Jamboree.
A mountain.
Wow.
Shiva. That's a summon. Oh, that's a pretty hard card to find. They're called the Secret Rendezvous. They're part of the Commander deck series, and there are 4, I believe: Aerith, Tifa, Barrett, and Yuffie, which makes no sense to Craig right now, but they are 4 different characters from Final Fantasy VII, and the art depicts a date scene that you could take one of your companions on based on your affinity with them at the time of the date. Very exciting stuff, too. I can tell.
Magic the Gathering folks can't go on dates, so they can do it virtually with their cards. Is that what you're saying?
That's very mean, Craig. We got
two more. 2 boxes left, it looks like. Yeah.
You got some pretty good
I hope you're
pulls,
sitting
though.
down.
I saw Surge Foil Celis, Surge Foil Kafka, Noctis. Those are some pretty good pulls. Really good extended art foils that he got from his guarantees. Definitely in the plus.
He's in the plus. I was just going to say, did he at least break even? And it sounds like he's well
very
beyond
easily.
that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll give Ben some of the more expensive cards. We won't do all of them because he's going to be editing forever if that's the case. I don't want to.
He's got the time. It's fine. Ben can spend a week. He's currently crying and or seizing. I can't quite tell. A cry seizure over there.
Another extended art Aerith. There's Papolimo, the Popoto.
Oh, what? Papa, is this the mascot of an Italian restaurant, the Popolino Popolo? Like what? What the hell is that? Come on down to Buca de Beppo, the Popolino de Popolo. You can sit in the room with this bust.
There are Lalafels from Final Fantasy XIV. They're affectionately called Popotos.
Okay.
They look like potatoes.
Not even good. Okay. Hero, generic hero. It's just hero. We don't know who it is.
That was another borderless card that's pretty nice. Uh-oh. We're getting towards the end.
This one seems like a dud.
It's a decent pack. No Surge foils, though.
Oh, Swamp. Sweet.
Your favorite.
Could you just have a deck of nothing but lands?
You can have whatever you want in the world of
You
Magic.
just,
You
you
just
would just lose.
Yep, there's another one of those. Oh, last box.
We're waiting for those chocobos.
He
Come
had
on,
much
bud.
better luck than my 14 boxes. My 14 boxes were pretty disappointing.
Any buyer's remorse spending $9,000+ on some cardboard?
Not really. I think I knew what I was getting myself into with this. I set aside a budget when they first announced it, knowing that, I wanted to get as close as I can to getting a complete set. Obviously, there's a lot of gambling involved. In retrospect, I probably would have just bought collector booster boxes only. We would have tried to get our hand on like a master case or something that had, I believe it's 288 packs. And kind of just split that across the three of us. But yeah, I don't have much of a regret. If I wanted to go turn around and sell the set right now, I'd probably be okay. Assuming I could find someone that was willing to buy it all, obviously. But I'll hold on to it for a few years.
So that's the plan. You're a collector, probably eventually sell to earn your money back then. Yeah.
Yeah, I think over the next few months to couple years, I'm gonna just try to find all the singles that I'm missing and kind of get to a complete set.
Gotcha. This is it, folks. This is the last box. He's got the special packs here. Pulled them out. He just throws all the common cards immediately in the dumpster because nobody cares about those.
Unfortunately, at the point that we're at,
got.
play boosters are not very exciting to us anymore.
You just want the money makers. That's all that matters.
Play boosters have a chance of getting you something decent. I pulled a foil VV. It's worth $200-300.
Wow.
Those are okay cards. Not what you want to see out of your last pack.
No. All right. Here we go.
I can sense his disappointment through his fingers.
Or they're just blistered and raw
You
from.
can just tell by the delays after some of these packs when he puts them down.
What am I doing with my life? Oh.
It makes some questions.
Hero. Generic. Oh. Capital.
That is unfortunately a very common card. That is okay.
Gilgamesh. Shalinda? Is that like a Hindu god?
Final Fantasy is notorious for some of the most weirdest names in this video game world, really.
What is that? Some guy
Looks
kicking?
like that's a bust. He plays Blitzball. See, Craig, there's a lot of things you're going to have to Google at the end of tonight.
I'm not even going to remember what to Google.
That is a very disappointing final pack. I would be very bummed if that's what I ended on.
Looks like there's one more.
Is there another one?
There's one more? Oh.
False alarm, folks. Ben, we'll rewind that. All right, he's opening the final packs now.
What do we have?
Garland, Knight of Corellia.
Oh, that's a pretty rare that he just pulled. I haven't seen that card yet. That is Emmett Selk of the third seat from Final Fantasy 14.
Okay. Is it an Anthros seat?
Possibly. Possibly. You are amazing at tying in.
It's right up here.
You must be
It's
doing this for a few
trap.
years in your life.
Only about 20, which is probably 18 too many.
You're a little old to be in front of a camera, Craig. That's what we hear these days from the kids.
Yeah, and I'm not doing the TikTok either, or Snapchat. Is that still a thing? I don't even know.
Apparently Snapchat is a thing. Cloud's Limit Break, that's a cool card. Oh, is that a surge foil? That's not even a foil. That is just a plain old non-foil card.
Just put it in the dumpster.
Oh, let's not go that far. That one's probably worth like 50 cents.
Sweet, another land.
You really like lands. You like
It's the
going
only
outside.
thing I understand. I don't know what Chocobo, Sarah's Chocobo, the Coral Sword.
Sleep magic. You know what sleeping is.
That's true.
You're not alone, Craig. You're not alone. That's
Sleeping is good.
That should be it. That's so pretty disappointing last pack. So the
All
last
right,
two
so
packs
we
are-
still went out on a whimper. We just
we sure did. That's
a double
that's
whimper.
But
Yeah.
yeah, to answer your question from before, it's a pretty good haul because those boxes were at retail for $100 a piece. So
Mhm.
I'd be pretty happy if that's what I got for those. Yeah, that was exciting. Unfortunate that we didn't see a Chocobo or a golden one. We'll continue the search. However, we can get packs because we have got a gambling problem.
It's like indirect gambling. You spend a bunch of money to buy the boxes and the packs, right? And you're hoping they contain the fancy cards, and then you're inevitably disappointed. But you still go and buy more because you got to play to win, right?
I think they
So-
call it something, gambler's fallacy or something. I don't know.
So are these packs still available, like at retail? If somebody's watching this video, they want to get involved in the Magic world with Final Fantasy. Can you go buy these still, or is production like done?
I would say guess it depends on where you live. But I would assume at this point, scalpers have gotten their hands on anything that's at retail price. All the stores local to me are selling at, again, TCG player pricing. But I would be surprised if you can get your hands on anything at a local store at this point. TCG player still has a lot of collector boosters boxes available. There's gonna be a link at the description if you want to shop over there to get your hands on stuff. But it is definitely 2x 3x normal retail at this point.
Oof. So maybe like you'd better check out Des Moines, Iowa. They might have them at retail.
Possibly.
They have stacks of them or something.
Yep.
Probably not.
I would say though, the thing is the cards values are also going up, 2x 3x, right? So it's all kind of relative.
Well, anyway, Jason, this was a lot of fun. I still didn't learn very much. I don't understand the basics of Magic, but
You know more than I do apparently in the game. He's
maybe. But, if you liked this video, we do appreciate you making it all the way to the end. Thank you so much. And next up, click the on-screen link. Ben will put it over here, maybe over on this side, for another recent video game review that we just published. It's for Monster Train 2. It's an updated version of Monster Train. Jason exhaustively tested it. I think he had good things to say about it, so make sure you check that video out right now.